DEWALT has just released another new pressure washer for their 2025 lineup. This is the 2600 PSI 1.1 GPM rated electric pressure washer. Now this thing may look pretty similar to the other ones I reviewed in the past from DEWALT. They found out a really great kind of housing structure and they seem to be rolling with it. They have, I think it's a 2100 and a 3000, and now they have the 2600. This thing is coming in with a price tag of $399, so it falls right in between those other two as well. So in today's video, we're gonna unbox this thing, see exactly what it comes with, although pretty similar to the other ones. And then we will go ahead and start testing to see what the actual usable performance numbers are of this unit. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, 3W Floor Mats. Traditional carpeted floor mats get very, very dirty and just kind of worn down over time. And other brands of plastic mats just kind of leave a little bit to be desired. And that's why I love the 3W floor mats. 3W floor mats are specifically designed to not only protect, but also to complement your vehicle's interior. They deliver a fantastic look and achieve a perfect fit through 3D laser scanning. Now they don't take one design and run it across every single one of their floor mats. Each vehicle gets its own custom design for the best fit and style. They also utilize an exclusive Thorax material and innovative Vigor mold technology. These mats are built to be durable and withstand wear and tear, maintaining their shape over time.
Even under the extreme weight of a nearly 6,000-pound truck, the mats do not deform and they still fit perfectly.
I've actually had other brands in the past that I've just ordered on Amazon, and they were great for a little bit and then started to do all sorts of their own kind of creative things. So again, these ones are made to last. Now, another thing that I love about them is they're easy to clean. As a professional car detailer, whenever I come across a car that has these, or again, just in my personal cars, they're so easy to maintain. You just pull them out, hose them down, and you're good to go. And from September 9th to September 30th, 3W is celebrating their brand day. And if you order through the link below, you'll get up to 35% off the official website, or up to $50 off on Amazon. They're also offering you a chance to win a free gift like a new set of floor mats. Just leave your car model in the comments and tag at 3WLiners_official for a chance to win. Now again, 3W offers a huge range of premium floor mats for vehicles like mine or my wife's Ram Rebel. So head on over to their website to browse around and find the right fit for your needs. Again, they offer a wide range of high quality floor mats for cars, trucks, SUVs, and everything in between. So don't miss out on the 3W brand day sale from September 9th to September 30th. Once again, click the link in the description below to save a bunch of money. Now let's get back into the video. Now, one of the really cool features about this unit and all the units that DEWALT makes that look like this is they are stackable within their whole platform. So you can stack this on the toolbox mount, really, really cool. Obviously you get a turbo nozzle. They say 69% more compact than the traditional style on a trolley. You do get multiple nozzles and a little foam blaster. And then again, this one does have that internal storage, which I really, really like. So let's go ahead and pop this thing open. We'll pull out everything that it comes with and I'll walk you guys through it. Now, because this thing has all the internal storage, unboxing and assembly is extremely, extremely easy. So again, we're gonna go ahead and go over the overall design of this thing. Interesting, guys. Now, this is gonna be a little bit of a side note here, but a very, very important one. At a price tag of $399, I would expect an induction motor. Induction motors are brushless. They are heavier, but they also run quieter and last longer. This one honestly doesn't feel super heavy, and I was actually looking on the box, and surprisingly enough, it actually states that it's a universal motor. I'll be able to test that as we start testing, just from the noises it makes. I'll be able to tell, at least with pretty good certainty. But yeah, right here on the box, it does state that motor type is universal. So $399 for a universal motor is a pretty hefty price in my personal opinion. Now, axial cam, that is a traditional style axial pump. That's what's actually getting the performance out of it. You have your foam cannon accessories, 35-foot cord, power cord, and a 25-foot hose. It states 13 amps, max GPM at 580 PSI. That's interesting, they really dialed this in, is 1.6. So we'll test that and see if I can ever get up there. And then max PSI 2600. Now, once again, with all these units from DEWALT, the fit and finish is really, really good. So you have your hose tucks in right under the handle here, so you actually can just carry it this way. So that is your hose storage. Right inside here, you have storage for your little foam blaster. Now, again, I always recommend upgrading those things anyway, so storage for that's not super important to me. But it's nice that it's there. We do have cord storage on the back, and you can rotate these holders down so you can just pull it off really easily. You do have a ground fault interrupt cable, right? So you can, obviously safe in wet conditions. It's a pressure washer, right? And I do like that they thought about this and did this style because there's good and bad to it, especially when you're working outside. A lot of outside receptacles will have the cover on them, and when you have the traditional block style, sometimes it's hard to fit. This one, you'll be able to plug it in, droop this out of it, and it'll still cover, and you'll be good to go. Now we do have some nice large rollerblade style wheels, so really, really smooth and fluid when you're moving this thing around. Now, for a job site, you may be working in some rough conditions, especially when you think of DEWALT, you're thinking of heavier general contracting kind of stuff. And again, these are gonna be nice and smooth, but a bigger one, I don't know. I personally do prefer this type of wheel. It's very comfortable, very smooth. But again, just the job site, a bigger pneumatic wheel would have made sense to me, but I get that they also want to keep this a nice compact design. Additionally, you have an extension here, so you can actually walk around with it. Very, very nice. And the functionality of this feels good. Doesn't seem to stick too much. Feels really nice. Right on the top here, or side, I guess, if you're laying it down, which we're gonna go ahead and do right now, is the little storage area. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up. Always take note of how these went in, because I've had it before. I'm like, how the heck? And once I use it and I go to put it away, it's really confusing to figure out exactly where it goes. So just take note on that. But right away, you have a nice little extension lance. Okay. You have your gun. Now, I've made the mistake in the past to mention that you could potentially put a nozzle on here, a quick connect, and then use this as a short gun, because the gun's great. Let me go ahead and pull it up to you guys. So it's a really nice style of gun. You have nozzle storage right on the front. It's comfortable in the hand. The trigger is really contoured, so it's comfortable. It's a good gun. The angle is not my favorite. If you look as I'm holding it here, this is gonna want to tend to shoot up. I prefer if it was a little bit more of a squared off angle, so you're not kind of tweaking your wrist as much. But overall, I really like the gun. However, finding the right size of a quick connect in a 1/4 inch size for your nozzles that fits on this is very, very hard. People have done it. If you have, please comment down below where to get that. I don't remember off the top of my head. So obviously though, we do get 3 nozzles. You get a 15, a 25, and a 40 degree. I'm gonna check them really quickly and see if they're all stamped the same size. It's just a random number that ended in 2-3. Well, maybe, and then this one says 2-1. So yeah, we'll test each of those to see what performance numbers we get with them. Then we also do have the turbo nozzle, a nice little storage space for that as well. And then the kind of wand extension holder. So you can take this, you can screw this right into this piece. There's a nice O-ring on the gun side as well, so everything, there should be no leaks, everything should be nice and tight. And then you take the extension piece, get this little cover off of it, and you slide it over this M22 style fitting. So there you go. Now you have your full gun setup, nice handle to hold on to. Again, this is designed for more around the house, I think, more than anything. We're gonna see if we can manipulate it to use with cars, but the ease of use, the ease of storage, all that kind of stuff, 2600 PSI, a lot of times when you're working on your house, you're with that higher PSI. This could be a really good option for that. And last but not least, on one side of the unit, so you see it standing up here, one side of the unit, you have your water inlet. It does have a nice screen filter in there, so you don't have to worry about any debris going through the unit. And on the other side, you have your water outlet. Now, one thing to note is I took this off and there's a lot of white powder in there. I don't know exactly what that's from, but there's white powder. Now, it is an M22 style fitting, just like the hose. This is an M22. I don't know if it's M22 by 14 or 15 yet, but we will test that. And also, guys, we will test the quality of the hose and possibly just upgrade it for my my preference. I'll show you guys what my preferences are for upgrading your hose setup. All right, guys, so when going to hook up the water connection to this, as I showed you, it's just an M22 connection. One major upgrade, this is one that I've developed, this is from my own QUIVR brand. There's tons of other ones on Amazon as well if you guys want to go that route. But I did develop these so that you can make a much easier experience when you're pressure washing. And that is an M22 by 14. That is this size here, that's gonna fill and connect that portion perfectly. And it is a quick connect set. So you can add one to the water outlet, you add one to your hose, which is here. So you have the other style, the female end of the quick connect here. They're stainless steel, they're really awesome. And then additionally, we also have them for the inlet side, the water inlet. So you can hook one of these up to your garden hose, and then this one stays on the machine and you plug it in and it's super, super easy. It also reduces the chance of getting leaks at your water inlet because there's an O-ring there, and that's going to get compressed over and over again if you're constantly screwing a hose on and off. So these reduce that because this is just going to be screwed in once, it's going to stay put, and then you're just going to be operating the quick connect after that. So highly recommend these. I'll link these in the description along with some on Amazon for you guys as well. Now another thing to note is as much as I want to bring these to your attention, I do require these to test my PSI. So I will have to install a PSI gauge on this, and that is a traditional style quick connect setup. So I do have to run these regardless. All right guys, so here is the setup. So I have water coming out of the wall. On the end of the hose, I have my quick connect. On the pressure washer, I have the male end of it. Just pull the collar back, insert, and you're good to go. Now a nice thing about the kit is it does come with some extra ones as well. So if you have like a traditional style whatever garden hose nozzle, you can do that and quick connect that as well. We come over to the gun side, so we have our quick connect here. We take the hose, quick connect that on, okay? And then it runs through. I have a quick connect here again for my pressure washer PSI gauge, and then it runs out to the gun. Real quick, let's talk about hose quality. Already, personally for me guys, 25 feet is not enough hose. The diameter feels nice on this one. It's just I would prefer it to be longer. And let's check the kinking ability. So it is kinking in my hand here, but it's not terrible. For a hose that comes with it's okay. It does kink, as you can see here. So, and it stays in the line. I'm gonna try and get that up close to you guys so you can actually see that there. The problem with that is it can potentially cause a weak point down the road as this thing pressurizes. Now you have a kind of a weak point or a spot of failure. So again, there's a bunch of hose upgrades available online. I have my own, again, for my QUIVR lineup, but there's also options for steel braided ones and all that. I will show you mine. I partnered with a company called ProPulse. They're the ones that manufacture the UberFlex hose, which has been my favorite for a long time. So for mine, it's called the QUIVR Flex hose, and I just integrated the quick connects in it so you don't have to bolt these on. So here it is here. Again, nice black colorway, so it goes really, really well with this whole setup. Quick connects are already integrated into the hose, and as you can see, it's an absolute noodle. And you can get it to roll over on itself, and you can get it to kind of like, it looks like a kink, but then when it comes out, there's no memory to the line and it's good to go. So these things are fantastic. I absolutely love them. Highly recommend it. Again, if you want something with more distance, especially if you're working around the house, you don't want to be constantly trying to move the pressure washer. That gives you 50 feet and you're able to get a lot more work done. With that said, we're going to test this as it comes with the original gun and original hose. Okay, so I just turned on the water. Now it's running through the system. The machine is still off. What you want to do first with any pressure washer is as you hook up your hose to it, there can be air in the line. So you want to just pull the trigger, you hear that air come out, and then it's going to do this a little bit. Let the water kind of pass through the system for 30 seconds or something like that. Make sure all the water's out of the line. And I don't have a tip in it now, but as it's going, it actually seems pretty good already. I'm gonna go ahead and fire it on. Guys, it sounds like a universal motor. Definitely sounds like a universal motor. It also seems like there's a significant ramp up in performance. So let's go ahead and start with the 15 degree nozzle, and we'll test the PSI. While I'm testing the PSI, I'm also going to take a look at the amp reading. This thing says 13 amps, but anything under 15 should be fine. But I guess it's designed for 13. So again, we got that 15 degree nozzle. Here we go, I'm going to pull the trigger. This is a multiple of 10, so we will divide by 10. Ooh. So we're running at 15 amps with the 15 degree nozzle. All right, now for the PSI test, as you can see, it's a digital readout here, guys. I'm just gonna let you know what it's saying. It's a little hard for me to film with it. Whoop, and this hose is tangling around my feet. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so we're sitting at 2130 PSI. So that's a pretty far cry from 2600, like not close at all. Typically, just to be fair, typically when they test these things, they will test it at the pump head and over time. Usually they will let the machine run on full power for 5-10 minutes before they start testing that in the factory. And that can increase the numbers, but this is how I test them all the time. So I want to be consistent in that. And again, as a car detailer, I'm not going to be running the machine for 5-10 minutes. I'm going to be on, rinsing, off, on again, off. I'm full runtime is gonna be 5 minutes, and that's on and off. So I need to know what the numbers are right off the bat. Now I'm gonna go ahead and test the GPM. Basically, I'm gonna take this bucket, I'm gonna pull the trigger on the machine, let it flow into the bucket for 1 minute. That'll give us our gallons per minute rating of water coming through the machine. I'm not gonna film this whole process. It's just very repetitive. We have to do it with 3 nozzles. So I'm just gonna let you know what I get, and also I'll tell you in 1 second here. All right, guys, so I am back. Again, I ran the machine into the bucket for 1 minute. Just where the water level was in the bucket, I knew it wasn't gonna be great. So total weight, including the bucket, came to 143.9 ounces. Subtracting the weight of the bucket, which is 16.6 ounces, comes to 127.3. If we divide that by the weight of a gallon in ounces, is 133.4. We are at 0.95 GPM, 0.95 gallons per minute. So that one should be giving us the most PSI. That nozzle should be the least amount of flow. So the fact that it didn't get 1.1, it's okay. But that one should give us the most PSI typically. And I think we were at what, 2130 or something like that, and it's rated for 26. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next nozzle now, the green 25 degree, and see where we lay with that one. All right, guys, next up is the 25 degree. So again, we're gonna look at the amp reading, and here we go. So 12.4 amps. I'm gonna go ahead and test the PSI. Again, with the amps being that much lower, the PSI is gonna be lower as well. So it kind of bouncing between 1435 and 1440, I believe that's what it was. Let me go ahead and test the GPM, and then I'll let you guys know. Okay, so we have achieved the listed 1.1. We're actually at 1.12 gallons per minute. So we're there, but again, 2600 PSI 1.1, those are the max ratings. Again, I don't know where they're getting the 2600 because we weren't getting that. But as far as flow goes, yeah, we are getting it, but at the 1400-ish PSI mark. Moving on to the last nozzle, actually the second to last nozzle, we will do a quick test with the, at least for PSI, with the turbo nozzle as well. But we're going on to the 40 degree nozzle. Okay, 40 degree nozzle is in. We're gonna test the amps. So we're at 11.6 amps. We're gonna test the PSI. So we're gonna call that 1320. And now we're gonna go ahead and plug it in and test the GPM again. All right, and there is an increase, but not very much. We were at 1.12, we are now at 1.16. Still not great. Now really quickly, we're gonna go ahead and test the turbo nozzle. Why are these important for deep cleaning? Well, they can leave a larger orifice size, so more water flow going through it, but because it is a oscillating tip, it's gonna create kind of a cone pattern, but it's really based off of a 0 degree nozzle. When you use a 15 degree nozzle, and you have a certain amount of PSI here, the actual impact is dissipated over that 15 degrees. When you go to 25, it's even decreased even more, and 40 even more, right? So the actual impact decreases over time, or over distance. This one though is a 0 degree, just on an oscillating tip. So a 0 degree, we're gonna get consistent pressure all the way through to the end result. So even though this may say lower PSI, this actually has more penetrating power where it's actually hitting. So let's go ahead and check that really quickly. I'm just gonna let you guys know what the amp rating is. Yeah, we're all the way down to 9.3 amps with this. PSI, 760. So again, drops way down, but this is probably gonna be the most effective for cleaning like concrete and things like that and actually getting stains out. Now, last but not least, guys, it did state on the box that it could get to 1.6 GPM at like 500 something PSI, and I wanna try and test that. So I have a couple of random nozzles here that are, I'm assuming large. Again, I don't know exactly what size the orifice was on this thing. So here is the 4.0. And really, we're just doing this to try and see if we can get that flow up. Already, we're dropping the PSI too much, so it's not gonna be super usable anyway. So I don't really know why I'm doing this. I'm just trying to see if their facts and figures kind of match, because so far they haven't been super accurate. So 4.0 nozzle. We are spot on at 500 PSI. So we should definitely, because that said 560 or something around those lines, I don't remember, at 1.6. I just want to see what the GPM is here with this. All right, guys, so there we are, 500 PSI, and I'm getting 1.46 gallons per minute. So we're still not even at that 1.6 GPM. We're 1.4 gallons per minute. No, excuse me, 0.14 away. Not a huge amount of water, but still, it's even at 500 PSI, it's really not usable for, I don't know. Around the house, if you want to use that 25-degree nozzle or the 15-degree nozzle, you're going to get 2100 PSI-ish. It's not, you know, it's not unusable. It's decent there. I just think for the price at 400 bucks and still using a universal motor, I think there's better options out there for you at like half the cost to match this performance. Now, when we talk about fit and finish and build quality and design, it's fantastic. I really, really love how DEWALT builds these ones. Just this one, in my personal opinion, for performance, I would pass on this one personally. I would go to something else. If you want something that's great around the house, utilizing a universal motor, but a 40-foot hose on a hose reel, fantastic unit, completely all the way around is the Ava units. Theirs is the Ava Easy, I believe is the one on with the trolley. Really, really great unit there. I would highly recommend that one. Performance numbers are really good on that one as well. There's a lot of options out there. Ryobi has a bunch in this price, or in that $200 price range that gets about the same performance, again, with a universal motor. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope that video helps you. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.